So Bestow, the new lab, the first one is actually really cool as well because it's not just like the ARAM type of vibe. It's one that's actually really, really sweet because you choose one of 6 decks. The Nexus health is different. We start at 30. And when a unit dies, its stats are granted to a random unit in hand. And as I figured out last game, that works with ephemeral units like Hecarim. We jammed this for 1 game and had an absolute blast. Let's try it again and see how well it goes. You get a 69-68 zap with fading memories with this deck. That is insane. Wow. Crazy. So Shark Chariot's really good. We're on evens. I could just let the Shadow Fiend die on turn 1. This is probably just a keep, actually. Really good hand early game. Because we're guaranteed to get our Shadow Fiend buff on a good unit here. Spirit Spirits is a little bit less good, but that's fine. You normally would never do this, right? But that dying is actually really good for us because we just pass the buff on to a different unit here. And now when the chariot dies here, it's going to buff another one of our units, which is insane. And then boom, now I have a 10-5 Shadow Seer, which is kind of nuts. That's actually turbo broken. We now have a bunch of ephemeral units though. So I never block this, it just hits twice here. Do I just play the Darkwater Scourge to get it out? I think yes. We go. You're never gonna get the damage off of this because this card's always gonna have barrier, right? So I'm never gonna be able to heal even if I block second. It's irrelevant. Third Spirits plus Shadow Seer, okay. So we're gonna flip between the Zed and the Scourge now. After we play the Shadow Seer. And we're also gonna get a Shark, so it's gonna be even bigger than we think it is. Wow. So this definitely seems like it's the best deck so far. I haven't tried anything else, so I can't actually tell you, but hey, that's a new animation as well for the support. That's really cool. But this feels like it's kind of turbo broken, I'm not gonna lie. Could have healed 2? You can't because the barrier wouldn't be popped because I wouldn't have done damage during combat. Because if you're attacking a barrier, you don't actually do any damage, unfortunately. Okay. Forge plus Shear. So I'm just going to play these and make my Zed massive, I think. Oh, or the Lifeblade. Okay. I guess we just hope that we win the flip then.
I'm one of the good guys, but not Zed.
For the absolutely massive Zed. I don't get a plate here, though. I was going to say Zed plus Dawn and Dusk is insane, but that's not something that's going to happen. Concerted Strike, sure. That's fine. Okay.
I have unfinished business. This is not over.
Oh my, that's a 2819 Zed, guys. You get a copy of the Zed with the Living Shadow here. Like, this is going to be a 2819 Living Shadow here. And a 3-1 Shark on turn 6. This deck is insane. The classic 3120 Silent Shadow Seer. And now I'm going to have an insanely huge Lifeblade. I can play Dawn and Dust to turbo buff this Lifeblade as well. Insane.
With me.
You can't stop this from happening. He doesn't have to Tame mana and he can't play Purify on champions.
This is our way.
I am a true master.
So he's gonna try to get a buff unit.
I am the shadow. I am the shadow. Let power rule them.
What is this, man? Actually broken. 102.66. King Cow Lifeblade. This has got to be the biggest unit I've ever played in Legends of Runeterra. I guess if you want easy wins for this lab, pick the Hecarim deck. This seems a little bit unfair. Yeah, it might just be a little bit broken. I don't know. What do you guys think? Kind of strong, right? Kind of strong. We'll try it. We'll try it one more time to see if we just got like lucky the first 2 games or if this is just average for this. Hey, also progressing the Blossom. Sweet. Go Certain Death one more time. But it seems like Certain Death might be the look. I don't know. Yeah, it might be the move. I didn't update my emotes or card back yet. I'm trolling. Keep the Zed again. Dude, this Shadow Fiend on turn 1 is insane. It's actually so good here. I get to attack with it too. I don't think any other faction is going to have a 1-drop like this. It's guaranteed to die on turn 1 and just buff everything in your hand. I guess not everything, but 1 card. Double Zed's kind of sketchy, because if they both soak a buff, it gets kind of bad. So hopefully on a Zed here. Nice, it's good. I'll just play the 7/5 Zed because the Living Shadow just keep on scaling us too. Yeah, I think that makes sense. This is probably the most satisfying way that I've ever played Hecarim. You know, obviously like Zed Hecarim, Ione Shadow Isles kind of pairing has been something that's been very common forever in Runeterra, but this is kind of obscene, so it feels pretty good because I mean for the most part this deck hasn't been that great. Obviously when Hecarim was really broken, it was relatively strong early on in Runeterra, but Hecarim at this point as a 5/5 is not that strong, so you know it feels good to kind of have him be broken. Obviously it's more so the ephemeral units, but I mean Hecarim himself kind of helps you towards that goal. Where will the 7/5 buff go, gentlemen? You tell me. Okay, I mean that's not the best target, but that's fine. Another Zed, okay. You want to see my 5-head player? The classic tempo Darkwater Scourge. Like, oh yes, I do want my 7/5 to die here. Yes. Oh. 17-15 Hecarim. That's kind of good. This unfortunately is not a follower. Kind of bad. I could get a copy of the Living Shadow though. That could be kind of good. Yeah. And then just play it. Not bad. I can copy really big buffed units too though. Like I could wait a little bit. And it could be a little bit better. Damn. I don't really want to palm, do I? I feel like I'm fine with letting this die. It's not really that big of a deal. That's a big life blade. Okay. Yeah, that should be okay. I feel like if we let him live, like it's kind of fine, but he's only developing 7/5s. He's kind of outscaled at this point in the game. That's an insane amount of value. I wouldn't say that we may have met our match, but I have a 17-15 Hecarim with Overwhelm. Which I'm hoping will be good enough to win. Gold like that, you know it, man. You know it. Anything like a Vladdy plays too, I could just go Fading Memories on the Light Blade, then Deathmark as well. Cards are actually so flexible here. I had like a gut feeling that Hecarim would be really good because of the ephemeral stuff. And that was even with like the initial thought that the ephemeral units that you summon off of like Zed and Hecarim would not buff the units in your hand. But because they do, it's just so powerful here. I think I hit the fading here. and then just like go for Hecarim next round when he's turbo buffed. I guess you could freeze the Hecarim then, which is kind of bad, but I think that I like this. Oh, it doesn't. Oh, okay. Well, that's unfortunate. My bad. That would make sense that it doesn't have the buff. You learn something new. Don't be dumb like me. Fading memories won't copy the buff. You get the card though. I believe I'm just gonna play Hecarim now then, so I can open attack. Be fine. Good blocker too, right? I mean, it's a 17-15, so I don't think he's really gonna be able to do anything about it for the most part. I don't feel like the soundtrack would get old either. How do you guys feel about it so far? Kind of vibing with it right now myself.
You must teach me when you have. I'll think about it.
This is value on another level. He's reaching another stratosphere right now. Could attack with that too, right? It's gonna die anyways, so yeah, definitely good.
I sense fear.
Okay. I actually had no reason to block there other than I kind of actually do want my card today. That's about it. Again? No. Oh. Okay. That's still pretty good. That might still be a win. Not as satisfying of a win as we would have had otherwise, but I'll take a 1917 King Cal Lightblade, I think. Got 2 mana, you can't really do anything about it, so I think we'll take it.
Try to understand. I matter. You don't.
Yeah, not bad. Kind of good. It's so insane, man. Like, they remove one of your big threats, and it's like, oh, hey, I just have another one, by the way. I would agree. This lab is a lot better than the last one. I feel like this one is actually really fun and has like a completely different spin on how to play the game, which is exactly what I wanted from labs and what they said they were going to deliver. And well, they delivered. So good job, Riot Games. BESTOW is sweet. Hecarim deck might be a little bit too strong though. So if you guys are trying to get your wins, definitely pick Hecarim. Yeah, pick Hecarim every single time because I mean these games are quick, they're crazy, and you get some really juiced up units.